Hello everybody, my name is TricksterShadow, and today we have yet another instance of behavior, which are the Dead by Daylight devs messing up. So this seems to be a just continual saga that is happening every few weeks of behavior, DBD devs making some mistake or doing something that people don't like, and they somehow end up topping it every single time. There's been multiple controversies in the past year, just even in the past few months, not only them losing the license for Stranger Things and that getting removed from the game, but also the NFT drama of them being involved in NFTs and knowing about it from the beginning and willingly working with the NFT creators and harming the environment through NFTs, but also in this most recent case, endangering their player base and streamers and content creators. So, if you guys do not know what's happening, basically, on Monday, a bunch of content creators, specifically Twitch content creators, Twitch streamers, started to get their internet connections taken offline. And the reason why their internet connections were getting taken offline is because apparently there was an exploit within Dead by Daylight to where certain users are able to extract other players' IP addresses, and which is essentially like the address for your modem, the identifier for your modem, which gives you your internet. And they're able to use those IP addresses that they extract from Dead by Daylight, because apparently Dead by Daylight is not secure, and they're able to essentially just turn off your internet. They're essentially able to do a DDoS attack, which just turns off your internet. And the most simple way for me to explain it, that's the easiest way to explain it. And so most games are typically secure and will hide your IP address, but apparently Dead by Daylight is not secure. Apparently there's a security exploit, and it's being exploited in order to take off streamers, just to disable their internet. And so that was happening on Monday. It started on Monday. And then on Tuesday, the PTB happened, which Tuesday was the 9th, I believe. Yeah, the 9th. And so Tuesday, the PTB happened, and it became even easier for the people to not only get streamers' IPs, but also try to get into games that get their IPs. Because the PTB, which is basically a test build, if you don't know what it is, basically like a beta to test out the new content that's coming out of the game. Not only is the PTB only for PC players, so it's a smaller portion of the population, it's only PC players that have downloaded the PTB, even smaller population, and typically a lot of people that are playing in the PTB are content creators. And so it's such a refined population than is in the normal game. So we saw on Tuesday a bunch of content creators getting taken offline, a bunch of content creators getting DDoSed. We saw, I believe, Darva, Zubat Lol, True Talent, a bunch of content creators. I mean, even me, and I'm not a very big content creator, but even I got knocked off, and somebody DDoSed me because I ended up finding out already like well into my stream. I think I was already like 5 hours into my stream of playing the PTB by the time I found out, and at that point it was too late. And I ended up ending my stream, but even though I ended my stream, I still ended up getting DDoSed. Very unfortunate. Have it all resolved now, but still frustrating that it happened. And so we really didn't see any response from behavior when all this was happening, and people were just kind of assuming, because we don't really know for certain. We're not 100% sure, 99% sure, because all this is happening. We're all like, the common factor in all these streams, this is people that are all across the world, stream at all different times, have all different communities. The common factor is that we're all playing Dead by Daylight. And so we are drawing the conclusion that this must be happening because of Dead by Daylight. There must be a security vulnerability, and they're getting our IP addresses and are able to take us offline. And to even go further than that, and even because, like, at the end of the day, like, taking our internet offline, it sucks and it shouldn't happen, and it really hurts the livelihood of content creators. There's even instances of possibly content creators being endangered, like their physical being endangered. There's a streamer by the name of Elix. Elix is a content creator on Twitch, and they actually got swatted. They had police sent to their house on a false police call, to where somebody called up the local police and said, hey, something bad is happening at this house. The police showed up, and it's just Elix streaming, and they had the police burst through their door and point guns at them, and then the situation ended up dissolving, and nothing bad actually happened. Nobody got hurt, thankfully. But this could be in connection to the security leaks, because we don't know like how much information they have. If it could just be IPs, they may be using like other context clues, because you can't really like find somebody's exact location just off their IP, but maybe there's like more vulnerabilities. I don't know. It could be in connection. It could be a coincidence. But still, because it's happening and because we don't know all the information, because we are not Dead by Daylight, we don't know, and they haven't really responded that much, just assuming that's connected. So it's very scary. And so if you are a player of Dead by Daylight, or if you're a Consecrator especially, I would suggest streaming through a VPN, getting a VPN, booting it up, and playing with the VPN so people can't take you out, so people can't potentially harm your internet connection or yourself. That's what I suggest right now. But I waited to do this video as I was initially going to wait to do this video at the end of the week. I knew about this since Tuesday, obviously, and now it's Thursday. But I was waiting to do this video because I was curious about if Behavior was going to respond. And they haven't responded on their Twitter. All they've done is just say Crowfax on their Twitter. But they have responded to Eurogamer, which is a news publication specifically for like video games, like industry stuff like that. Now, I had to turn off my ad blocker, so the ads that you see on this website, because I have to turn it off in order to like show off the website. But essentially, this article like talks about everything that I just described. It shows like Elix's tweets saying that they were swatted and DDoSed. And then we got some other tweets of other Consecrators saying that they were DDoSed, people unhappy that the DDoSing happening, and Behavior saying nothing. And Behavior actually responded. So this is Behavior's statement. The Eurogamer, when Eurogamer inquired Behavior and said, like, hey, this is going on. Do you have a statement? Behavior said, our players are the highest importance for us. We work very hard to create a safe community for everyone based on values of sportsmanship and inclusion. We're aware of certain targeted cases of distributed denial of service, which is the DDoS attacks. It's a situation that we deplore and take extremely seriously. We're actively monitoring and investigating the situation to gather as much information as possible and to identify trends. We encourage our players to report to us any identified cases of DDoS, as well as any other form of inappropriate or abusive behavior in the game. And then they go on to say, this is Eurogamer saying this isn't Behavior, that the only way to really protect yourself is through a VPN. Now, at least this is a response, but of course that is the bar being at the absolute ground level. At least we have a response of them saying that they acknowledge that it's happening. They are not acknowledging, however, through this response that is happening through their game. But by them even acknowledging it like this, by them saying they're monitoring, investigating the situation, it kind of implies that it is happening through Dead by Daylight, because they're not straight up denying that it is. And because they're not straight up denying it, makes me think that, okay, it actually is. But they're trying to like distance themselves enough to where they legally like can't be held liable, because then, like, if they say like, yeah, it is through Dead by Daylight, then they could potentially get in trouble with like streamers suing them, or if somebody gets physically harmed through them getting sued because of the physical harm that ends up happening. And so this pretty much confirms to me that if you are playing Dead by Daylight, you need to play with a VPN, because you are in danger playing the game. This is pretty much them confirming as much as they can legally that their players are in danger. And what really bothers me about this statement is the only way to see the statement is through the Eurogamer site. There is no statement on their Twitter. There's no statement on their Facebook. There's no statement on their Instagram. There is no statement when you launch up the game. So if you are a player of Dead by Daylight and you do not either use Twitter or do not peruse Eurogamer, which is a lot of people that don't do those two things. A lot of people don't even use Twitter. Then you're in danger and you just don't even know about it. And the devs of the game don't want to tell you that you're in danger. I'm guessing, one, because they don't want to be legally responsible, and two, because they don't want it to cut their bottom line. Less people playing, longer queue times, the more people would drop off because they don't want to wait for the queues. More people that drop off, less likely it is that people are going to buy the new content and buy cosmetics. And so, of course, they don't want to say anything. They don't want people to stop playing and people to feel like they're in danger. But I think at this point that money doesn't matter as much as people's safety. If people are having their internet connections taken offline, a lot of people work from home nowadays, and so this is a very big issue for a lot of people. But also, as people are being swatted in connection to this, you need to say something. You can't just like say this on one publication and just kind of sweep it under the rug. You need to let everybody know. At this point, you're hurting people just as much as the people that are DDoSing, because you know that it's happening. You know that it's connected to you, but you won't say it because you don't want to be legally responsible. But you're just letting it happen anyways because you don't want it to hurt your bottom line. That is very deplorable. That is very disgusting. And this is one of the big reasons why, and this like exemplifies like behavior doesn't want to communicate. They never want to communicate about even like simple things like game balancing, and they also don't want to communicate about people actually potentially being harmed. And that's why I really struggle supporting the company. I love the game. I love Dead by Daylight. I love a lot about how it plays. Of course, do I want it to be better? Of course. It's not perfect, of course, but I still enjoy it. But this company that is running Dead by Daylight not only doesn't care about their player base, but is willing to see their player base be harmed because they don't want their bottom line to be hurt. They don't want their dollar signs to go down. They would rather see you hurt. They'd rather see your internet connection taken out. They'd rather see you not even be able to work from home, not even be able to live peacefully within your own home without potentially being swatted as well, because they don't want to tell everybody and like create a panic and have people stop playing their game. Of course, this is all allegedly. This is all allegedly. People are getting DDoSed through DBD. All allegedly, they were getting swatted through DBD. It's all alleged. But this is still a very lackluster response. This response needs to be plastered over all their social media, over their game. Like as soon as you load up the game, it should be right there on the news saying that there's potentially DDoS problems. And if the longer that there is not that case of this being plastered everywhere, the more people will be harmed. That's all I have to say today. Sorry for being a little bit rambly there at the end. I'm just very, very frustrated. And I hope that you guys will remain safe. Be sure to download a VPN or maybe just lay off a DBD for a bit. And I will be sure to make another video and inform you guys if there's any updates on information about this case. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe. And hopefully something gets done. Bye-bye, everyone.